fishing tournaments down here.
This lake scares me. I wouldn't want to be on it. Stuff on the.
How big is Altoona?
What's that?
How big is Altoona Lake?
Well, I don't know, but it's big.
Is it the same size as Altoona Lake?
It's bigger.
I think Lake Lost is bigger.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of acres.
Drove over Altoona last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to have headlights on.
Yeah.
Yeah, driving over Altoona.
Yeah. Well, I see the engineers handled the water levels much better in Rome this year than they did. Remember that water when the water rose so high at the levee? Because the Corps of Engineers didn't release it on up.
Oh.
So they got in a lot of trouble over it.
A lot of
Look at all
birds.
those birds out there. Is that birds?
Yeah. Those look like some sort of crane or ibis or.
Yeah, I bet they're cranes. But the water seems low for look how that's all grown up. Used to not be hardly anything.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lighthouse restaurant that was pretty good.
Where's that such and such on the river?
Top of the river?
Yeah.
In Gadsden.
Give her Ricky Lee Jones.
Harbor.
It's not. She's kind of a one-hit wonder in a way. My cousin Lori and her husband lived down here. They just lived there a lot.
I wish Daddy hadn't have given it. He had 2 lots down here, side by side. I mean, now, look at all the kids that could enjoy that.
I can remember going.
Really? I used to stop at Burger King, get me a Whopper Juniors, the onion rings, and a Coke, come down here, sit on the dock, and then try to burn to a crisp, I guess. Oh, that was another thing. People that would lay out with baby oil,
Yeah.
or baby oil and iodine, or sun in your hair,
Aluminum foil under their chairs.
peroxide on your hair. I said, well, it just goes to show all young kids do stupid things. And that's really, I mean, despite Paul and his craziness and all the drinking and the boating and the girl that got killed, but you know, he never had a chance to grow out of his being stupid. That's what I felt bad about.
But she's convinced that real estate companies are following her with drones and stalking her with her radio implants in her teeth, and she's being cyber raped.
Well, it's quite possible we've had her, but she'd have to get in line from all the druggies avoiding something.
We see them too, boy. We see people coming back. They don't even know where they're at. They won't be coming back. They just ask for 7 packs, you know, and they can't even concentrate enough doing this. You know.
Yeah. I tell you, when you had to deal with their sense of entitlement and demanding and just rude.
Yes. Yes.
Rude.
I don't know how you dealt with it day in, day out as long as you did.
Well, toward the end, I just get up and leave them sitting there talking or whatever. I just get up and leave.
Okay, I told this story to my mom, and it struck a nerve for her on the other side of, like, instead of she didn't have any sympathy for my review. In other
What?
words, this older man that comes up and he wants to do a petition to change his name. And another clerk had been telling him about, well, it's going to be $209 to file. $209? Whoa, that's outrageous. How should it cost that much money to change the name? It shouldn't cost nothing. And and so then I chimed in and said, well, there's also going to be a fee to the Rome News Tribune. What? Rome News Tribune? There ain't even such a thing anymore. They don't even make a paper. I said, yes, they do. We get it every day. And I said, well, I don't know why I should have to do that. I said, sir, it's the law. I want to know who made that law. I said, and I got my fill at him at this point. I said, the lawmakers, sir, you know
Did you
that.
hold on?
And I turned away.
So why was Audrey sympathetic to them?
I'll tell you in a second. Because she had been to the tag. Hang on. She had been to the tag office, and somebody had been what she considered condescending about how to fill out some paperwork. Saying, you need to do this, not over here, not over here. You need to do this part, and just talking like she was, you know, incompetent. I said, well,
So it's still the same song.
they do that because 9 out of 10 people are going to do it wrong, even if you tell them this is how you do it. So they have to talk to you like your child. They don't know you from anybody else.
Yeah.
And she would think that was, oh God, I'm getting some bad gas pains.
Uh-oh.
Woo. I'm going to take my seatbelt off for a minute and move.
Walk around a little bit and try to get rid of
There's
it.
my rib cage.
Oh.
Anyway, I just said, well, you haven't worked with the
Public.
public that much to know how you have to say things real
Deer Lane
clear.
on there? Farm Road? Oh, yeah. I like those little things that says that when the people are calling in for work, they got the sick of this job, sick of this virus, sick of this job. Or they were really afraid that they were gonna, they were having some kind of thoughts or whatever, angry thoughts that they were trying to process. And it's like, I'm afraid for them. customers. Well, they're not going to go anywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, for God's
What are they
sake.
gonna do? Go to the treatment center across the road? There's no more.
There's not one. There's not any place for them to go. They love it here. They think we're all good friends with them. You know, you're kind of burning out though. Like when we had that one guy that he OD'd finally after his 15th time of coming through, you know, and died on the way to a rehab. And they kicked it. They just threw him out of the car.
Oh dear.
The two guys that he was going with, because he OD'd, he probably took their drugs. They were probably pissed. They kicked him out.
I thought there wasn't any criminal liability to take a person OD into the hospital anymore.
I don't think that was their problem. They just didn't want to. They were going. It was in Tennessee,
Oh.
and it was on their way, and so they just threw him out of the car and went on. But instead of feeling really like any compassion about it, I was just like, oh well. I mean, because he would come in and he would be so entitled, and literally he would be so loud and so obnoxious that the doctors would just cave into him. So the last time he had come in, I remember telling him, they're going to find you dead somewhere. If you do not stop this, they're going to find you dead. He said, do you think so? And I said, yeah, I do. And then the next thing we heard, and the psychiatrist said, well, I'm sure he appreciated all we've done for him. I looked at her like she was out of her mind. I said, he didn't care. And I said, the problem, which I should have done, is not made it so hard on us. Just go ahead and give him what he wants when he comes in, so that we don't have to listen to him and argue with him. Deal with that abuse. Is that he was abusive. He was rude, abusive. I said, and plus there'll be 3 or 4 more to come in right behind it. No big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to get jaded. But I think that's the right attitude to have, to be honest.
It's realistic.
Yeah.
And until, I mean, and now since we've got all this push about mental health, I remember telling one of the doctors, I said, well, now the big thing's going to be depression, because y'all can't bring somebody in under being a drug addict because they won't pay you for it, but you can bring them in under depression. So anybody who looks at any statistics see depression. So, oh my God, look, we're all depressed. Well, that's all kind of relative. You're going to be depressed probably if you can't get your drugs.
State Line Tavern, that's where Daddy broke his tooth once. Doing sound, they had hamburgers. No, I take that back. That was at the, where they were doing the skydive.
You know this song?
Where?
Years ago, they were doing some sort of fundraiser, and they had some music, and they were selling burgers. Greg got a burger, and he had a piece of, he had a big piece of hard gristle when he broke his tooth.
Oh. Oh, bless him.
Do you know this song? You ever? It's called Sanford. Band's called Sanford Townsend Band. Heard of them before?
I've heard him way before you ever heard him.
Have you heard this song?
Yep. Do I like it? No. Never have liked it. Oh, the thought of that, her breaking your tooth on a burger, just. You know, we were talking about dentists and stuff. That's one thing I like about my dentist, is that he doesn't do all that nonsense.
Where do you go to?
Carney, Kyle Carney. And if, like he told me I need to do root canal, he said, now, sooner or later you're going to have to get it. And I said, well, I'd rather do whatever you got to do and get it over with. And, you know, he didn't. Like one of his hygienists, one I was in, she said, we really need to do all these x-rays. I said, no. an X-ray since. But Noah, he'd not been to the dentist since Dave and I were married, and he didn't have a cavity one.
Right. Sid has had